Model 2 is the investment in child's education channel model, and Gamma 1 shows how the parental marital status influences child's education. Model 3 is for the intergenerational marriage persistence channel, and Lambda 1 shows how parents' marriage affect child's marriage. Model 4 is the total effect model. Alpha 1 is the total parental marriage effect on child's earnings without controlling the two channels. I copied the result of each model separately here, but in practice, I use the gsem command in Stata to estimate all the coefficients. And I summarize the estimated coefficients and the decomposition of the total effect in the tables. The total effect of a successful parental marriage on child's earnings is about 0.111, meaning that the workers who grew up in homes which their parents remain married earn about 11% more than their counterparts who were raised by divorced or separated parents, holding other parental and child's factors constant. This total effect can be decomposed into the direct effect and the indirect effect. The direct effect is positive but not significant, while the indirect effect that goes through the two channels is significant and accounts for about 69% of the total effect. Next, I add the interaction terms and use the margins and marginsplot commands in Stata to obtain the properties of the parental marriage effect on child's incomes. This graph shows how the predicted log earnings change with parental family income for the two groups of workers with different parental marital status. The earnings gap increases with the parental family income, which means the parental marriage effect is substantial for the workers who have wealthy parents during their childhood. I show the same property by drawing the line for the parental marriage effect. The partial effect becomes larger and more significantly different from zero as the parental income increases. The parental marriage effect on child's earnings is also higher for those workers who are from the family where their parents are highly educated. The earnings gap between the two groups of workers with different parental marital status is larger and more significant for sons than for daughters. The child's earnings work experience profile is significantly different between the two parental marital groups, from 9 years of experience to 26 years of experience. This graph looks slightly different from that in the motivation part because here I control for the parental income and parental education effect as well as the demographic characteristics of the children. In summary, the causal effect of a successful parental marriage on child's earnings is about 10% on average, holding the other parental and child's factors constant. It varies with different factors. It's greater and more significant for those whose parental family have more resources during childhood, or those whose parents are highly educated. and for sons instead of daughters, and for those who are in the middle of their career. The empirical evidence is consistent with the hypothesis of the parental marriage effect on child's earnings I proposed. For instance, a male worker who grew up in an intact family, whose parent is a college graduate, and parental family income is about 61,000 US dollars, that is at the 75th percentile. This worker earns about 23% more than his counterparts with the same backgrounds, but grew up in divorced or separated families.